Welcome to Fashion, Faith, and Flair, and today's fashion message is, how do I get out of my fashion rut? Well, I can speak from experience because so many years I was definitely in a fashion rut. I have talked about this before, but I was in Henley hell for 3 years. What does that mean? That means that I was wearing Henleys every day in different colors with the same black pants. Now, not the same exact pants as far as one pair. They were the same style. I had tons of them. Now, granted, I was in a technological career and it was business casual, but as someone at the time who was over 300 pounds and wearing things way too big, at least 3 sizes too big, it looked ridiculous. I even wore the same shoes every day, and I had a backup pair of the same shoes. So as I started releasing weight, and I say release because if you lose weight, you can find it. And so I started releasing weight, and one day I was having a discussion with my boss at the time. Her name was LaTanya. She loved fashion, and I was starting to get more interested in fashion again. And she and I were talking, and we decided we were going to come to work looking like each other. Now, we took makeup and hair off the table, but everything else, we wanted to dress like each other. So at that time, my look was I was wearing mostly like capes, and I was wearing a lot of black. So I'd wear a black cape, and I would have a little brooch at the neck, and I'd still wear those same flat shoes. They were Liz Claiborne Trotters. And I started wearing leggings because at this point I was over 200 pounds and I felt more comfortable in the leggings instead of wearing the pants, and we were allowed to wear leggings. So LaTanya, on the other hand, she was a fashionista. Oh my God, she would wear the most sharp shoes. Every day it was a different pair. They were heels, they were boots, and she would wear jeans, and she'd wear some colorful top, she'd wear a belt. And so because I was releasing weight, I didn't want to spend a lot of money. And on top of it, I did not wear jeans. That was not what I wanted to do. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to go to Goodwill and I'll be able to find a pair of jeans, find a sparkly, colorful top, and find some heels. And so I was rather pleasantly surprised when I went to Goodwill. I couldn't believe how organized the store was, and they had everything merchandised by style and color, and they had a lot of cute stuff. And I thought, you know what, I can really buy some great clothes here. I don't have to put a lot of money into it, and I can find stuff that fits me and get out of this style rut. So I found the sharpest Steve Madden shoes, and they were heels, and that got me started in wearing heels again because for 10 years I only wore flats. And I found a pair of jeans, I found a sparkly, flowery top that I tucked in. I wore this blinged out belt because that was so LaTanya. So I'm like, I'm gonna look like her. So we got to work that day of the challenge, and she looked exactly like me. She's wearing a black cape with a brooch at the neck, and she's wearing leggings and these flat shoes. And LaTanya never wore flat shoes. And I remember we walked into a big tech meeting. There was probably 100 people in the meeting, and the call center director saw me take a seat in the front row, and she's going, "Cynthia," she goes, "you look different today." I said, "Yes." I said, "LaTanya and I decided to dress like each other. Wait till you see her." And I only tell you this story that was the start of my transformation. So you can get out of the fashion rut. So I want to give you some tips that I have found that have worked for me to get out of that rut, and hopefully they'll work for you. The first one is, actually, let me start with 3 excuses that I made, just because you guys might be in this excuse stage. I thought, I'm old, nobody cares, I don't care, So I continued to be in my rut before this experience. So the next one, and this one's a huge one, I use my weight as an excuse. There is no excuse. I don't care if you're 500 pounds or if you're, at your goal weight. Don't use weight as an excuse to say, well, once I lose weight, then I'll worry about what I look like. No, start today. Don't let that stop you. With the way it is today with online shopping, people can find clothing of all sizes. And if you can't afford it and you need inexpensive clothes, Goodwill has plus size clothes. I found that I was able to transform my style and pay pennies for it. No, well, maybe not pennies, but very inexpensively. I was able to find things. So don't use your weight as an excuse that I did for so many years. The other excuse was that goes hand in hand with that was that I said, oh, well, I have these beautiful clothes that I could once wear and I want to be able to wear them again. Just stop it. I'm telling you to stop it, actually, because I had to say stop it to myself because, first of all, I hadn't worn those clothes in 10, 15 years. And even when I did release the weight, I didn't want to wear them. There's no way. I wanted new stuff. So using that as an excuse doesn't work. So I want to just stress it's never too late to get out of that fashion rut. So the last excuse I used was I used money as an excuse. Now, I've already overcome that objection because you can buy clothing at thrift stores or you could have a clothes party with your friends, and do swap, like a closet party, swap stuff out. You don't have to spend a lot of money to look good. I have seen people wear very expensive clothes and they don't have any style with them. It's all about the style and how it fits and how it looks. And you may not have the body where you want to be today, but that shouldn't stop you from feeling good about yourself and dressing your body. Think of it today, I may be on my way to the way I want to look at, but it's also loving yourself. It's saying, you know what? I love myself. I want to look good. And I may not have the body where I need to be, but I'm not going to use it as an excuse because I'm telling you, I used it for so many years. And I've told you all before that I have worn clothes that were 3 sizes too big and they looked ridiculous, trying to hide my body. And I have seen people that are larger that have the best style and they embrace themselves. So let me get off this tangent because I want to stick to the subject at hand. So how do you get out of your fashion rut? Here's the tips that I've learned. You have to get rid of clothing that no longer works. Now, sometimes that can be difficult because we want to hang on to the past. I don't know about y'all, but I can sit there and look at a garment and I'll remember when I wore it. And if it brings me great feelings like, oh, I remember when I wore it to this event and I had so much fun and this and that. No, if it doesn't work in the wardrobe, get rid of it. And you have to be willing to change. That's the main thing because people do get stuck in ruts. I mean, I'm living proof of that. So just think about that. If it doesn't work anymore, get rid of it. Now, I did when I, had those clothes that I told you about when I was over 300 pounds, I ended up having a yard sale. And I remember someone came up, she was looking on the table and she goes, were these your mother's clothes? She did. This girl said that. I said, no, I said, I've released a lot of weight. Because she saw me standing out there and she assumed that, oh, well, that girl's dressed decently. Maybe it's worth getting out here and looking to see what her clothes are. But anyway, that was a big, huge thing for me to get rid of stuff. Have some go-to outfits in your closet that you feel great in. Now, there's nothing like going out and wearing something that you're uncomfortable in. It can mess with the occasion, whether it's you're going to work, if you're tugging on the clothes, like maybe they're too tight, or if you're going to an event or whatever you're doing, have some go-to outfits that you feel great in them, so that you can just grab them and go and feel your best. Find people whose style you admire and get inspiration. So when I've attended, for example, fashion events here in Nashville, especially Nashville Fashion Week, I got inspired. Yes, by some of the designers and some of the things that they made. I especially liked the people that were in the audience. That's where I found some great inspiration for looks. And so I look towards others. Sometimes I do see stuff on social media that I'm interested in, but mostly it's people that I meet out and about my daily life. Now, with the pandemic, I haven't been out like I used to go, but you could see people in the grocery store, something that you get inspired by. Or maybe there's speaking of online, maybe you have some Facebook friends that you notice, oh wow, they always look so sharp in their pictures. So you can get inspiration anywhere. It's not to say that you have to look exactly like them, because we are all individually and wonderfully made by God. So we weren't meant to try to clone each other. But you can get inspiration from that. Experiment with makeup and accessories. Now, I do want to go on record about makeup, and I have a video I will be publishing soon about makeup. It's pretty much makeup or no makeup, stop the shaming. That's the title of the video. And my point is this: if you're not a makeup person, that's fine. If you feel more beautiful without makeup, more power to you. I personally like to wear makeup. I've been wearing makeup since I was 12 years old. And so because I do wear makeup, I switch it up. And I tend to be matchy match. I'm big on color, even though I wear a lot of black. I'm all about everything going together. So like, for example, what I'm wearing today, now it's hard maybe to see in this video, but this hat is one of my wearable art hats, my ageless style hats that I made. And it's got some black but silver to it. And I'm wearing a lot of silver jewelry. Now you'll see here I've got some bracelets on, and I've got a necklace that matches, and I've got some earrings that match. And again, that's my personal preferences. I like matchy match. And I've even got a scarf here on with that. And my sweater's a long it's a sweater coat. I got that at Goodwill for next to nothing. But it's just experiment around. If it's fun. It's fun to go in your closet and change it up a little bit. And like I've told you all before, I am one that loves black. I know I wear a lot of black. I'm trying to add a little color. I'm not really purchasing anything right now, so I'm pretty much going back into my multiple closets and finding things to wear. And so I'm all about experimentation. Don't get stuck. Don't get stuck in it. So the last one is, of course, it's kind of touches on what what I've talked about, and that's be willing to switch it up. So I have a story real quickly of someone that I met last October. I went to a historical home on my birthday because I like cultural places. And there was a lady that was in the gift shop, and she had on these really sharp leopard boots. And so I complimented her on them. She thanked me. She was from, I think it was Michigan. And she said, I'm going to be turning 50, she said, and I decided I want to switch it up. She goes, my teenage daughter is going to be surprised when she sees these boots. And I thought, that's awesome. See, she's willing to switch it up. She's not letting age stop her, and they looked good on her. So I really embrace just being willing to change. Now, change can come slowly. It's not something that happens overnight. Believe me, I know that with the black thing, because again, I still love my my color black, but I'm trying to switch it up and do a little bit something different. But I've said it before, I look at every day as a blank canvas, and you're a work of art, I'm a work of art, and there are no rules with it. We just can look at it and just take each day as it comes and change. It's just, again, it takes time. So it's never too late to get out of your fashion rut. And I hope that this video has been a blessing to you. If it has, I would really appreciate it if you'd like it. And if you would subscribe, I publish twice a week. And I hope that you have fun in your fashion journey and enjoy your day.